This is Seezzay. I see it, I say it. So today I wanted to look at idioms. They're great, they're fun. You can totally overuse them. I'm guilty of that all the time. And I just so happen to have found molasses. I have no idea where it came from, but I have molasses in my cupboards. So, the next logical idea is to see how slow is molasses, because of the idiom, as slow as molasses, which I'm going to start this right now because I have no idea how slow molasses is. So I scraped some molasses out, put it on a nice spot on a paper plate, and I marked 6 inches. So let's find a spot where it can sit. And hopefully that doesn't fall down and make a mess. And we'll see how long it takes molasses to move 6 inches. Ooh, exciting. In the meantime, I thought it would be interesting to see where the actual saying came from. So, when I was thinking about this morning, I was thinking about smooth as molasses. For some reason that stuck in my head. I'm not sure where that came from. When I looked it up, it was as slow as molasses, which actually makes more sense. Ooh, look at that. Maybe it's not as slow as we thought. So, let's take a look. At what is known about molasses. Okay, so I looked this up and it says the origin of the expression as slow as molasses in January. Close enough. So let's take a look. So it's an American idiom for something that's painfully slow. Oh, it's related to the Great Molasses Flood in January 15th, 1919. I actually remember watching a documentary on that. So look that up. You might be able to see it. It was pretty awful. In the documentary, I remember that there was a foreman or something who was trapped, and he managed to stay afloat in the molasses for several hours before he ended up drowning. So pretty awful. Ugh. So with this was January 15th. January is cold. Okay, so 43 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 6 degrees Celsius. Up in Boston. It was the Great Molasses Flood. And I remember that they had a tank that was built for something else, and they filled it with molasses without actually calculating the amount of force that was going to be on the container. So eventually the container split, and when the tank split wide open around 12:30 p.m. that day, a 30-foot tidal wave of molasses tore through the street. Tore through the steel supports of the nearby elevated train structure. I don't know why that matters. It was pretty impressive that it was a 30-foot tidal wave of molasses. I'm okay with that. Oh my gosh. It ran at between 25 and 35 miles per hour. So 40 to 48 kilometers per hour. See? It's not that slow. Let's see. So the expression as slow as molasses in January, which, as slow as molasses. is Americanism for someone or something that is painfully slow due to the high viscosity of commonly available molasses at room temperature that pours quite slowly. It does. It really does. It took me a while to get out what I could. So, and I just left it upside down right on the plate and just let it drip. And you won't see anything drip right here. It almost has to stick to itself before you can get any out. Like you could see a little, I don't know, a little bit of a string of goo there. And it's horrible tasting. I seem to remember this being in the documentary. They talked about it being a byproduct of alcohol. It tastes like black licorice, which isn't that bad. I'm a big black licorice fan, but all right, it's almost there. So, any other? Let's see real quick. Where does molasses? Molasses. So molasses is a thick dark brown syrup obtained from raw sugar during the refining process, a version of which is used in baking. I'm gonna grab this before it drips onto the floor. And I have that timing recorded, so do a little bit of calculating. Molasses. How would you call that? During alcohol processing? Or was it used? I don't recall. Molasses and alcohol. Let's see what we get. Historical liquor made from molasses sugar. Rum is defined as liquor made by fermenting and distilling sugarcane juice, or more commonly, the tailings from sugar production such as molasses. Okay. So rum. All right, so after a little bit of math, so just looking at it, please, it is 51 inches per hour, or about 4 feet per hour, and that translates to just under 130 centimeters per hour. And then when I looked at it for miles per hour, and this is at room temperature, so we're at about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius, so pretty comfortable in here. Not cold at all. And miles per hour, it would be less than 1,000th of a mile per hour. So molasses is, I guess, pretty slow. And it kind of begs the question, holy cow, how is it going 25 to 30 miles an hour? It must have really had some pressure built up and just, we're talking explosive molasses. So that was pretty cool. I'd like to do more of these. So any new ideas? I thought maybe next time I might look at, told you I like black molasses. So, or black molasses, holy cow. I meant black licorice. So, slick as a whistle, I like that one. The best thing since sliced bread. And check out some other cool little idioms, find out where they came from, why they even exist. Look at like the funny side of them. Experiment, check stuff out. Just have some fun with it. So, I'm thinking about making this a short series alongside of the the backwards interview. So for more backwards interviews, I'd like to get some material. So I'm going to look at ways to have comments from you guys, figure out a way to get videos uploaded from you guys to me so that I can do some backwards interviews for everybody out there in the community. So we'll see what I can come up with, and until next time, Seezzay out.
Do we have an outro? Do we have an outro? Do we have an outro?